See, I read teaspoon, I poured tablespoon. Back to the drawing board. Something's reacting. Oh my god, hey! Welcome back to my kitchen of stagey isolation. I didn't plan that intro, let me think of something wittier. Today, in celebration of it being Pie Day, we are going to be, once again, baking one of the pies from the Waitress pie book, Sugar Butter Flour. I think I did one last year, back in the first lockdown, back when it was only going to be a couple of months. How we laughed. That was a Oreo cheesecake pie that tasted much better than it looked. I've done a lot of baking since that lockdown, and in this lockdown, so I feel like it's going to be better this time around, but don't let that fool you into thinking that I know what I am doing, because I don't. Not only is this the first savoury pie I'm ever going to make, but also it's kind of an iconic Waitress pie, because today we are going to be attempting the Betrayed by My Eggs pie. This I feel like is one of the first named pies that she bakes in the show, but I can't be sure. It's been a long time since I've seen it because it closed and the world ended. So we're going to get right into it. The first thing that we need to do is make a spiced cornmeal pie shell. I need to whisk together flour, cornmeal, cumin, chili powder, paprika, and salt. I'm already warm. What is this? Get this bowl out of my bowl. Okay, 1 cup for unbleached all-purpose flour. Unbleached? Do I know if it's unbleached? Does it matter if it's bleached? Where would it tell me if this is bleached? In America. I need a cup of this, regardless. Sugar, butter, oh, she hefty. Look at that, that's satisfying. 1/4 cup cornmeal. Do we even have a 1/4 cup? 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup. The word has lost all meaning. 1/4 cup cornmeal. I have corn flour. Without doing any prior Googling, I've just assumed they're the same. Where I don't have the exact American ingredients they've listed, I've gone for things that are either interchangeable or that I've decided are interchangeable because I couldn't be bothered. I don't want to shop today. It's windy, it's raining, and there's a plague on. Can I tell you the pressure that adds of filming at that angle? Get down, get down. Why did I think corn flour would be yellow? Teaspoon, cumin, ground. That's a lot of cumin. There we go, give it some colour. Hot chili powder. Okay, you sit there, don't move, don't move. This couldn't possibly go wrong. Get out of it. Oh look, I got it all over the... Oh! I'm so over this already. I'm gonna go with when it feels like a teaspoon.
That's a tablespoon.
Oh. Well... See, I read teaspoon, I said teaspoon, I poured tablespoon. It's only 11 millilitres difference. If I bail out 3 of these, it's fine. It's all gonna be fine. Okay, this is already going horribly. I've sort of siphoned off as much discernible cumin and chili powder as I can. This is a teaspoon for anyone watching at home. Get out of it, get out, get out, get out. Why is the paprika refusing to leave? Next one, 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. God, would this pour any faster? I have no patience for these small ingredients. We whisk. Get in there, get off me. Oh, it smells spicy. Doesn't that smell spicy? I mean, that might be the work surface. Listen, if you're clean when you bake things, that's not relatable. Nobody likes a clean baker. So the next thing it wants is 1/2 cup of vegetable shortening, which a very hasty Google search has led me to believe is basically butter. So I'm just going to yeet some butter into it, which is sort of my go-to in baking. Don't get chili powder on the butter. Although that might be nice. No? You don't want spicy toast? Something graphic about combining this melted and dry butter. Get out of it. Go. Work in the shortening with a pastry blender. I do not have a pastry blender. Now feels like a great time to talk about my Patreon. I recently started Patreon. It's a great way for you to be able to support me as a content creator. Not only will you get access to loads of exclusive content, oh gosh, but you will also help finance me to buy a pastry blender, because this is just the worst. Okay, this teaspoon has outlived its usefulness. I maintain there is nothing that you can't mix in a baking recipe using a fork and a teaspoon. They will try and sell you all sorts of additional baking paraphernalia. You don't need it. Sprinkle 3 tablespoons of ice cold water over the flour mixture and toss with a fork. Haha! Vindication for the fork. What did it say? I've immediately forgotten. Tablespoons. I need to check. 1 tablespoon. I've lost all credibility with just reading, I guess. Apparently it's going to start to form large clumps. I, for one, am excited for when that happens. Squeeze a small pinch of dough. If it is too dry to hold together, stir in more water. Squeeze it. Oh, well that one didn't hold, but that one did. Pour onto a piece of plastic wrap. Gather and form it into a ball, then flatten into a disc about 3/4 of an inch thick. We need to get the wine rolling pin out again. Throwback to the last video. Pour, my babies, pour. Give it time. Give it time. Ugh. I don't know why that still made me jump. It was literally an hour-long build-up. Oh, why do I want to eat this straight out of the bowl? It looks like cookie dough. It's super not. Well, this is satisfying work, I must say. Today's rolling pin is a Morrison Smooth and Plumpy Merlot.
Did you just say plumpy Merlot?
Can I just not read today? Is that what it is? I'm having a moment. Do I want to flour the wine bottle? That's not a terrible idea. This wine now contains flowery tones. I see no problem with this, honestly. This is just a life hack. You know, at some point, I have to question why we don't own a rolling pin. Like, not getting a pastry blender, that I understand, that's expensive. But I feel like we could have bought a rolling pin in the last year. I'm assessing for flatness is what I'm currently doing. 3/4 of an inch thick. It's possible we've gone too thin. Back to the drawing board. I need to let it chill first, where it's maybe gonna expand? I don't know. One thing I love about baking is you can just decide when it works for you. The recipe is not here. They are not in charge. I am in charge. This is fine. We are going to wrap it. The instruction is to wrap well. I assume that means tightly, because anyone who's ever received a gift from me knows that I can't wrap for shit. Woohoo! Ah! So beautiful. I can't believe she has time to do this for 6 pies a day. Cool. So we let this sit in the fridge. We have taken it out, and now I'm going to attempt to take it from there to here. Come to Papa. Do I try and lift it using the plastic wrap and then flip it like an omelette? No, God,
That sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
Don't fold on me, you bastard. Okay, that was nearly in the right spot. Walk it over. Come on. Come to Daddy. Okay, some of the sides are a little shorter than others. We can work this out. Just shuffling it around. This is quite satisfying as a job, I will say. I can see the chili powder. I'm slightly concerned that having initially added a tablespoon rather than teaspoon might have had an impact on the recipe. You know, who knew? Oh well! I'm gonna wrap this, put it in the fridge for another half an hour. She likes to take her time. So the pie spent 30 minutes of quiet self-reflection in the fridge. Next thing we have to do, line it with foil and then cover it with baking beans. I've had these for 2 years, I haven't used them, I'm so excited. Oh, there's something wildly satisfying about it. And now this goes in the oven for 20 minutes. In the meantime, we are going to start cooking the filling for the pie, and I need to fry some chorizo. Off camera, I took all of these chorizo-style sausages out of their skin. I did not put that in the video. It looked graphic in a sexual way. Not one to try with your parents, I will say. We're now just going to yeet the meat. Oh, so gross. Oh, so gross. I want you to break up. Bye-bye. So I can put you in a pie. Again, I don't remember Jenna doing any actual, cooking of all of this stuff. And she makes multiple of these in a day while juggling multiple relationships and some agonizingly difficult musical options. I just don't think it's realistic. Realism is really what I look for in my musicals. Yeah, you come back. Easy peasy. There we go. Now the book at this point tells me to remove the foil, which I imagine will be very hot. I'm going to make a little parcel of my baking beans. I'm amazed how well that went. This baby's going back in the oven for a further 8 minutes. And while that's doing that, we are going to give the sausage here some beer. You best believe we had to go out and buy beer in especially for this. Fascinating. Now, are you sure you want beer? You wouldn't rather wine? I have many wines. Suit yourselves. Drink up, little sausages. I hope they enjoyed that. Let me see what the appeal is here. No, oh no, no, nah. Why do you like that? The time has come to take the pie out of the oven. Get back, get down. Get down. I'm sure you're meant to poke it. The drunken sausage is cooling. The pie that has come away from the pie case, we're not going to question that being a problem, is also cooling. Now we're going to make the rest of the filling, which includes eggs and flour and all sorts of stuff actually. Whisk the eggs in a large bowl. Eggs don't get a lot of credit in Waitress the musical. You know, she's all sugar, butter, flour. Where would you be without the eggs? Sugar, butter, flour, and also eggs. Again, who needs a whisk with the power of Poseidon? I just flicked egg somewhere on our floor. We'll clean that later. Whisk in the enchilada sauce. We have fajita cooking sauce. Fajitas and enchiladas, basically the same thing. So I'm gonna, again, this is another instance of where we are taking this as an equivalency, even though no one has told us that that is correct. Get the mix, get the mix, get the mix. Oh, it was nearly all over the work surface. Doesn't that look appetizing? I'd eat that raw. Please don't eat that raw. I'm whisking in the enchilada sauce. What next, Sarah? Flour, baking powder, and salt. Maybe I'd be better at this if I was having mixed feelings about an early pregnancy. Teaspoon? Teaspoon. We've learned. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. 1.5 teaspoons kosher salt. Oh, do I have to wait for this again? Get out and stay out and get in this pipe. You know, you can't have too much salt. We're young. There's plenty of time for us to get heart disease. Stir in the green chilies. Okay. Now, they did not have green chilies in Asda, and I was hungry and bored. They had these red chilies. It's close enough. They're both chilies. You know, if anything, I prefer the colour red, so this is better.
Are they not hotter?
Well, you know what? We've already got chili powder in. We may as well lean into the furnace that is going to be this pie. I'm just sort of liberally ladling these in. That seems like enough of that, especially considering it may be a completely wrong ingredient I wasn't meant to include. Do you see that? Something's reacting.
Ooh, it's like inflating.
It is inflating. Should it be inflating?
Oh my god.
Maybe it's meant to do this. I mean, Sarah hasn't told me about this in the recipe.
How hot is this filling?
Maybe start preparing some ice.
Or a fire extinguisher?
1/4 cup of the cotija. Did not have cotija cheese, however you pronounce it. We did have Greek feta. So it's not that close to Mexico, but I feel like they have similar vibes. Can I still not access? God, who sealed this cheese? I mean, how do you fill a cup with cheese? I mean, look at this. It's bubbling again. We've now mixed in the chorizo as well. I feel like this is starting to look kind of how the pie looks in the book. So now that that's done, we're ready to pour this into the pie shell and put it in the oven, which makes me very nervous. But hopefully everyone's going to behave themselves and it's going to be fine. Okay, it seems a little bit full to me. We're just going to chuck it in. Hopefully it dries it out a little, because I feel like we have a liquid problem. Bake in the center of the oven for 35 minutes. Let's just see what happens here. Steady, steady. That's definitely going to explode. Oh well! It's very important to sing to your pies while they're in the oven to nurture their growth. She is messy, but she's wise. My new instrument of choice, the Chaos Xylophone. This came from China. It does not quite have an entire scale. We love it for its uniqueness. It's a bad idea, me and you. It's a bad idea, me and you. I've never known anything so true. It's a terrible idea, me and you. Yay! Okay, the time has come, the alarm has gone off. We're going to see what's happened to our beautiful pie. It doesn't appear to have overflowed. I don't really know how. I guess it has more structural integrity than I gave it credit for. I'm giving it a good old technical boop here, and it seems pretty set. So I think we can sprinkle some cheese on top. Sprinkly, sprinkly. But again, it looks not dissimilar to the picture. The picture is a little less, I'm going to say, girthy than this one. So this is the pie. We can do a side-by-side comparison of what it's meant to look like. I'm pretty pleased with this. We haven't eaten it yet. I'm thinking that thus far, this could be a success. Okay, here goes. It's good. It's a little hot. It's not too hot. That is okay. That's a good pie. That's a good tasting pie. I think we've nailed this one, people. You know, it seemed like it was going to go wrong. Ended up with a successful pie. And I don't have to have a baby afterwards and wonder whether or not to leave my husband. So, win-win. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this pie as much as I'm going to enjoy eating it. Subscribe to my channel. If you can, go over and support my Patreon at patreon.com/MickeyJoeTheatre. I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day. And a happy pie day. For 10 more seconds, I'm Mickey Joe Theatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!